Hi,
And
everyone.
it is so good to come together again for co-create with yourself and co-create with each other. And to expand on those Abraham Now, we've been listening. We had an expansion, a new one, a new session from Abraham Now today, and we're gonna expand it out here now on the Best Life Now. So it's gonna be a lot of fun, and it's gonna be a lot of fun and joy for sure. And it's not so nice to just to when you're having a knowledge, when you're having an aha moment, when you have something, you're feeling the relief of something, and you're feeling that the energy comes through more and more, and you're feeling your alignment that it's all about the pure law source energy. It's all about feeling and finding your alignment first, and then whatever what you do now, it's just going to evolve in that how you are feeling from the first place. And Abraham was talking about it also today about feel your alignment first, and then everything line up with that, whatever what you do. So,
Mhm.
Jen, do you want to open that up with feeling your alignment first, and then
Yes.
everything lines up for you? That
Yeah.
is something beautiful to expand on. So
It's so
it's so
beautiful.
good to have you here. It's so good to see you again here. Always nice to come together to co-create with each other and with everyone who's listening, and just expand and feel more of our alignment.
Well, the feeling is likewise, Espen, and such a joy. And it is such a wonderful experience that we're having with Abraham. And it's such a pleasure to be able to expand and share that out with each of you. So, really, really beautiful. And I love what you shared about because it is about us really feeling our alignment. And what is alignment? That means us in our physical form is aligned with us in our broader non-physical form, right? And we're working together in unison, working together as a wonderful team. And we were non physical before we were ever physical. You know, we chose this wonderful experience and we chose it for the purpose of joy. Um, and Abraham really expanded out and has several times, really been expanding how things are moving very quickly. The energy is moving very quickly. And this will always be true as we move forward, right? The
Mm.
energy is not going to be slowing down, right? It's always going to be continuing to move faster. But especially now when there is such a global awareness, right? We're really feeling a heightened sensitivity to our emotions. We can really feel them. And we've
Mm.
been kind of given a planetary pause, so to speak, to really give us an opportunity to connect and align more. And this is so important because we've outgrown, and we have always outgrown this, but it's really become evident now that our worlds, our life is too big for us to physically control it. We really are being called to operate as a whole more of the time. Not ever 100% of the time. We did choose to be physical, right? So it's okay, but more of the time. Meaning, from our physical perspective, we ask. When do we ask? We ask anytime we see something we desire that we don't have, anytime we experience contrast, anytime something is other than we prefer. And this doesn't mean we need to verbalize it. We don't have to. It's just knowing, there was a shortage of this. I prefer an abundance, right? I prefer to have this, not to be the lack of it. I prefer to have. Or if somebody was mean, we know we prefer them to be nice. Or if we felt unstable, we know we prefer the feeling of stability. If we felt fear, we know we'd rather feel love, appreciation, or a
Mm.
better feeling, right? So that's any of those negative places, right? That's the asking. The broader aspect of us, which is an extension of source, gives. It goes, we know what you want and we have it. We have it. It is yours.
So, Jen, can I ask you, like, because immediately when you're having a contrast, instant, there is a source perspective in that, and it's an expanded version of it. So, when you're lining up with the source, then you line up with the answer for that asking. and
Mhm.
to be given what you want from that experience. More, I would say, different, have a different perspective. How do you want to,
Yeah,
you
right.
know, it's very good.
Yeah, it is.
I love that
Yeah, for sure.
clarity.
So the our inner being, that broader aspect of us, right, that extension of source, that non-physical, right, is with us always, 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 involved in everything we do. They're in every aspect of our life unceasingly. They never separate from us. Their
Mm.
focus upon us is unwavering. They love everything we're doing. But here's the difference. When we have contrast, they know what we desire and they vibrationally create it for us that instant. When we came into this physical experience, we came knowing that we're free, that we stand on a foundation of freedom. We are so, so, so free. We are unconditionally free. So even though when we ask, it's given, our inner being can't go, here, take it. We know you're feeling bad, so take it. It won't. It never works like that. Instead, we experience something unwanted or the lack of something, whatever, with some contrast. We experience it. Our inner being gives it, right? It's like, here it is. And it holds, it's vibrational. It's holding it in a vortex, right? There it is. And we know from our physical perspective, if we're still feeling negative emotion, we're not in alignment with our broader perspective. We're not in alignment with who we really are. We're still separated. We're resisting that which was given. So that's the purpose of our negative emotion. One, so we can sift and sort, so we can discern what we prefer as things we desire moving forward, right? The other is to know if we're in alignment or not. And so when if something made us angry, and right here it's given, come, 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 we have exactly what you want, but we're still angry, even though it's given, it feels like it's not given, right? Until we deliberately, right? Take a breath,
Mm.
acknowledge it. Okay, this isn't my preference. And then either make a pivot. If it's really small, the contrast is pretty small. You can kind of just pivot. Just by acknowledging it, you can pivot, right? Into a better feeling. But if the contrast or the momentum is a little bigger, you may have to generalize it out a little bit. Well, this isn't my preference, but I know everything's in motion forward. And things always work out for me. And I could do blah 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 instead, right? You'll start to feel that relief. And when you feel that sense of relief, you'll feel your vibration rising to become closer with your vibrational solution. And as long as you keep flowing in that direction, you will ultimately you'll come into a space of receiving that which you've asked. But here's often what people want to do. Instead, when they have that contrast, they want to say, why did I have that contrast? I need to talk about this contrast. I need to post about this contrast. I need to push against this contrast. Is it something that happened from my child? They do all these things and they keep it alive and it continues to grow and feel bad. And none of that is necessary or helpful because your inner being never looks back. Only us in our human form look back. But it's not really that desirable. We're free to. We're so free we can choose to. But it's not really advisable because here's the wonderful thing. When you're really flowing forward, everything you desire comes with you. So when you can let go of the resistance of needing to push against something or wanting to look back or try to figure out why this bad thing happened or how I can end this or things like that, instead, and you're flowing more towards that sense of relief, that sense of the solution that is vibrationally created, you'll feel the increase of energy flowing to you. You'll feel ideas come to you. You'll feel that.
Mm.
And in that space, you'll enjoy the journey to the manifestation. you'll enjoy it so much that the manifestation will be great, but the journey will be even better than the manifestation. And that's the ideal place to be. And this
Mm.
isn't where most people necessarily are. They want it. They want it now, and they don't want to have that little bit of unfoldment. And when I say that unfoldment, it doesn't need to be long. It doesn't need to be a long, arduous journey or something like that. And that isn't necessarily helpful. But it is helpful to know that from our physical perspective, we each acknowledge that which we don't prefer. We know that the broader aspect of us gave it, right? And we can flow back into a sense of oneness and wholeness with who we really are, into our alignment, and feel that feeling and feel our freedom and appreciate um, how we're able to do this. And in the process of this, we're expanding our life experience individually, and we're expanding the universe as a whole. Does that make sense, Espen?
So much goodness. I just, taking
Yeah.
in all of that. It's just so much good. And I love what you share because yeah, it's something you should talk about the relief when you having the relief and the energy, you're lessening the resistance and then the allowingness becoming more. And
Mhm.
with you hear the allowingness becoming more, becoming. She talk about that's why we hear, now it's the perfect time for becoming more of all of this. Now it's the best time to relax and allow to tune into the vibration of who you really are. Now everything is expanding even more than ever because ask and it is given. Now we are here and there is so many things going on, and when there is an opposite thing happening, there is opposite happening in the other side too.
Mhm.
And say, because you say also the non-physical energy in our physical body is the nature of all of who we are. We say that the pure law source energy, say the present, when we're feeling our aliveness, that's who we really are, and that's who we come forward into this physical body. And now more than ever, it's good. She talk about it. Now it's a time for awakening,
Mhm.
and this is it. And there is more to come. This is like now. It's the time to tune in, tap in, internal into the alignment of who you are, and feeling your alignment, and focus inside instead of outside for pleasing things inside of you, because it's not how it works. Inside don't have need anything to please things, having pleasing things outside for feeling good. It's unconditional. So can we calibrate into that vibration? Can we tune into that vibration more and more? Yes, it's nature. It's natural for us to do so. That's why we're here, and having all of those contrasts and these different experience and different things we want or not want, but also to know that we don't have to be pinched off from our well-being through all of this, but we can stay tuned in. And still, like you also say, if you get pinched off when you're feeling now of something overwhelming coming over you, catch it early. And just talk about catch it early and then calibrate it to what feels a little bit better. When you catch it early before it starts its momentum, then it's easier to find your alignment again. It's easier to come into the present, in your own present. And then moving forward from there, because then it's just feeling good. Now it's not about, like you say, it's not about the manifestation. It's not about the things you need this or that for feeling good. Now you're just enjoying the whole journey of it. Isn't that really what we're here for? It's enjoying this present moment here and now. It's enjoying this newness of that's always present and refreshing, and to feeling good through all of this and knowing that wow, it's amazing. I'm here living on the planet Earth and enjoying myself and all of it, and aligning myself up with the desires I have in my life. And I know when there is desires I don't want, but I also know that I don't have to focus on that. That I am so free to choose and focus on those things that feels good to me. And that's also something. And also that I know that everyone else has the freedom as well. Now she talked about it very much about that too. That let everyone be where they are. Find your tune your tune yourself into your alignment, tune yourself into your own present, to this newness of the now, and find your own alignment. And then when you are feeling good, you speak with other people, you will have this great conversation. She talked about it. You will feel the appreciation for the people that surrounds you. You will feel the unconditional love to them. You will have great conversation. You and whatever, if there is conversation that doesn't it's pinched off from where they are, you will not be pinched off because you know very well your well-being unconditionally. You can feel good any.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's like pure low source energy. Never looks back. I mean, it's not never conditional based, and that is very well good to feel and know, because then you're just like, oh, what a such a freedom, just feeling my well-being, and then that's how I see the world. That's how I see the world's eyes through source. That's how I then feel more of it. And I also know if I get pinched off and things, it's good too, because it really doesn't matter. It's not about being perfect being through my whole life, but you know, it's conscious. It's the reason for it. Also, it's for expand and evolve and to know more what I want, but also feel easy and gentle in general through all of this, and not being too hard to myself as well, but feeling that, seeking, finding that balance of that feeling through all of this. So you want to expand something more out of this, you know, it's so much goodness, you know, and it's so much expansion that was just like amazing thing. So what else did come up for you from this conversation with?
Yeah, it's really, really beautiful. And I'd love to highlight the understanding. And I think we've heard these words, but it's really, really understanding that there is, yes, it is true. We have a past that has preceded us, and we have a future that is coming, but all of our power is in now. Right, it's
Mm,
right here, right now. So and our power and our focus and who we really are comes from our individual perspective. So I love that Abraham gave a wonderful example today, and it was a question where somebody had referenced their relatives, saying, I witnessed my grandparents where they would stockpile basically food. They would have an abundance of paper products and food and cleaning supplies, just a very large quantity. And then they said, were they doing this out of scarcity, or were they doing this to express their feeling of abundance? And Abraham said, and take this in, because this applies to everything. It doesn't matter what perspective they were doing it from. It only
mm,
matters the perspective you are perceiving it from. And then they said, does it feel better for you to think that they were doing it from a place of lack? Or does it feel better for you to feel that they were doing it from a place of enjoying their abundance? Which feels better? And that's all that matters. That's all that matters. So everything that's outside of us is somebody else's work, so to speak. And yes, we do cooperatively work together and such. But everybody has their own individual connection. Everybody has their own journey. And from the outside, for us to try and say, oh, well, they're hoarders, they're operating out of scarcity. Well, guess what? You're out of alignment. Source doesn't see it like
mm.
that.
No, that's true
And
thing.
that's
Yeah.
not our perspective. That doesn't benefit us to judge them. Well, everything ultimately benefits in a way, right? But much better to say, well, what feels better? To see the situation, right? Globally, we have a wonderful situation. Does it feel better to you to see it in a place of improvement, to see the atmospheres clearing, to see wonderful things? Scott told me, my husband, my wonderful husband, told me that there are animal shelters right now that are out of animals because people are adopting pets. I thought, oh, this is lovely, right? This is lovely. And I know that's probably not the case in everyone, but there are some, right? Because people are going, well, we're home now, so we have time to have a cat or a dog or a hamster or whatever. So, you know, here's the thing,
Yeah.
it matters from your perspective. It matters. It matters how you see it. If you see things in a place of improvement and that feels good to you, you're right on track. But if you see things as, oh, there's bad, look at this is bad, this is going to be bad, you're out of alignment and your inner being doesn't see it that way. at all. It really doesn't. But we always have that choice. We have that choice to see it however we want. And even if we entertain some of the other thoughts, maybe some of those negative thoughts or feelings, well, that's not bad. We're so free because everything is in motion forward. So in the moment, we can go, I've just been watching the news for the last couple of hours, and it doesn't feel good to me. I think I'm going to flow forward and do something different. We're so free.
Mhm.
That 2 hours of watching the news that holds you no harm unless you can continue to keep focusing on it and worrying about it and what made me want to watch the news and oh my gosh, right? Or you can just flow forward. Well, here I am now. It's always now. What's next? What's next? I could go for a walk. Yeah, that'd be great. Or I could take a nap. Or I could go play with the kids. Or I could go play
Mhm.
with my pet. It's always our perspective. It's always how we see things. And we're so free when we just feel our feelings through and really choose feelings that are aimed in that better direction. We feel who we really are. We feel our becoming. And we don't need a condition to change to do that. We don't need a condition to change to do that. Take that in. You don't need a condition to change. You just need to, I'm going to focus on something else. I'm going to generalize this out. And in doing that, you'll feel your connection. You will feel source flowing to you. You'll feel your vortex. The time to do this is now. The energies are moving so quickly. You'll feel a quick shift. You'll feel your connection more. Yeah, try it. Play with it. Have fun with it. Relax. Be easy about it. But no, every request you've made has been answered. It's just up to you to shift your focus in a way that you can receive it. Me too, right? Me too. It's not pointing fingers, right? It's up to me too. If I was talking, I can have this exact same conversation with myself. And I do, right? Because there's moments when get a little like, not my preference. But is it generally like that? No. Is it always like this? No. Is there actually a lot of good things happen? Right? I can just generalize it out really, really easy. And you can too. Expansions on that, Espen?
I was feeling so good. Yeah, wow. Yeah, it's so true. Everything you said, it's so spot on.
Mm-hmm,
It's we all have our own inner beingness, and we all have our own journey.
mm-hmm,
And I really love what the Abraham talk about that, let everyone be where they're at. And when you find your own alignment, you don't see people from the perspective of what you're thinking about from the past. That is something to that I clarify for myself today, because source never looks back. And then I was like, then I will not look past of people what I experienced with them before, from where they are now and forward,
mm-hmm.
because source never looks back. So when I'm lining up with this source, and then I see the newness of everyone who they really are, and I see the beauty of them. I see the beauty of the people. I see the beauty of all the creation. I see the beautiful of all that is more and more as I'm lining up with myself first. And then I see for myself now, from my own experience, I so enjoy loving exercising, and I see I enjoy it more now than ever before. And now when I'm eating food, I enjoy more the food and the taste and the water and the people that surround me, and my family, my friends, and I feel more unconditional love to them. Thinking and feeling the best to them. My mom, my dad, my brothers, my sisters, and really feeling my own alignment and sending them, feeling the love to them. It's just like how beautiful they are. And when I do this segment intending, also it's so wonderful. I feel the alignment, and all is lining up with. I'm feeling it in the moment when I'm doing it, and then I feel it lining up with the energy with what I said I'm intending. And now when I then do something, it's aligning up with the energy what I've been saying intending in the now. And now when I'm in the future, in that experience with what I said intending, I feel even more. And that's the expansion of it. And now when I do this writing, the positive aspect, I feel when I'm more lining up with the appreciation, you should talk about that too. If you don't feel, for meditating, and it's hard for you. For there was a one man who say it was hard for him to meditate and to come into the alignment. To say appreciate, write a positive list of appreciation of things you appreciate in your life. It's aligning up. It's the same vibration as meditating. It's lining you up with the so pure low source energy.
Yeah.
And it's so many beautiful things to know. But there's also a feeling that come to a place that now, really like the now. It's something that like the now, everything takes place in the now, in the newness of it that's happening right now. And to not, let's say not, but I would say looking so much in the future and the past of it, but really coming to the place of feeling it now, what the becoming of who you are and your desires. And
Mhm.
because everything take place in the now. So do you want to expand on that? The becoming, the
Yeah.
she told me the awakening, all of this. Now there's so many fun things going on right now, and
Yeah.
it's very nice. For myself, I would say I experience more focus. I'm more focused, and I also more deliberately more aware of what I choose to focus in,
Hmm.
and therefore I feel much much better every day. I'm waking up in the morning. I feel fresh and new, and appreciate, and things are just differently now than it was just 1 month ago.
Yeah.
Everything has changed. Everything is evolved. Everything is expanded.
Yeah. I love everything you said, and I love where you started, because this is the most important piece. Um, and it really is feeling good, relax, get comfortable being comfortable. This is something that sometimes we think we're kind of good at, but we're not as good at it maybe as we think. Right? So it's a process of feeling. Can you find joy more and more and more in your day? Can you find happiness? Can you find pleasure? Can you enjoy eating your breakfast, or do you have to wolf it down as quick as you can? Now, that's less part of now, right? We're all pausing, but it's just an example. Can you enjoy your shower in the morning, or do you have to just hurry it up and it's just something to check off the list, right? Can you enjoy, if you're still driving to work at this time, right? Can you enjoy that drive? If you're preparing a meal, can you enjoy the preparation? Are you trying to rush through it? It's about really enjoying the things that you're doing and allowing yourself to feel good more. Why? Why is this important? Oh, this is so important because the broader aspect of you, your inner being, right, which is right, your vortex, right, spinning, right, has everything you want, everything you want. It has unwavering focus on them, and it's spinning in this vortex so that it's recalibrating to match you in every moment as you flow forward, right? Because now is in motion. Now is not stationary, it's in motion forward. But it's recalibrating so it matches you perfectly. So consider this, right, in terms of things in the future. When you ask, it's given. And a lot of times people get really worried about, I need to keep thinking about this thing. I need to keep reminding myself of my car. I need to really visualize it. I need to, right? And it gets really stress almost. And they're like, no, 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 I can see it. I can smell the letter. And, they're really trying to push this in. But if you would instead allow yourself to feel good, knowing, guess who has what you want? Your inner being, your vortex, unwavering. They have not taken focus off of that new car you want or whatever your desire is. They have unwavering focus upon it. And when you're feeling good, you'll get thoughts or daydreams that will come to you that will be so delicious. And yes, you may be so inspired to think about it and you'll feel it, but it won't be from an efforted space. It won't be like, okay, I've got my daily routine. I'm going to sit down for 20 minutes and I'm going to write about my new car. And I'm going to stare at the picture on my wall for 68 seconds. And then I'm going to write. No, because that's all work and that's all effort. Your inner being has it. The broader aspect of you has it, and it's in a feel good space. So when you're comfortable feeling good, right, it can, those things can flow in. So start with where you're at. You don't need to change your environment. Something doesn't need to change in order for you to start feeling good. It's just start appreciating where you're at. Start allowing yourself to enjoy those little things like your shower. Enjoy brushing your teeth. Enjoy the time that you have with your children or your pets or your spouse. Enjoy seeing the seasons changing, right? Um, Enjoy the sunrise, enjoy the sunset, enjoy the air. Just get yourself right to a space of being comfortable, feeling good. That's the most important thing you can do. Being comfortable, feeling good. The inspirations will come. Yes, will you still be doing some stuff? Yes, absolutely. You can enjoy doing your laundry. You can enjoy doing your work projects. You can enjoy creating your website. You can enjoy all these things if you're used to feeling good, if this is more of who you are. It's the most important thing you can do. Meditation is a beautiful tool for this. But yes, like Espen, like you said, there was a person that was on that posed a question that said they used to be able to meditate and now we're having more difficulty with it. And Abraham said, well, if you're having trouble meditating, first off, ease up with it. Like ease up, meaning don't get fixated on what's going to happen. Maybe just relax for that little bit and let the thoughts flow, right? Let them flow. Don't judge them so much. Just be easy about it. It's not meditating to get somewhere. It's meditating to feel good, right? That's the whole purpose, to feel good, not to get somewhere, to feel good. But if you're still struggling, appreciation. But you'll be doing that naturally anyway. As you're feeling good, Espen, doesn't it feel natural to appreciate? It's like the
Yeah.
most natural thing to go, this is such a beautiful day. I'm so glad I'm here. Wow, look at that. Or, oh, what is that delicious smell? I mean, it's easy to appreciate when you're feeling good.
Yeah, and there is a very quite different. I love that you share because now to clarify the appreciation, the difference from appreciation and gratitude. Because gratitude, then if you feel the resist, maybe a little bit resistant for it, I have to be thankful for something because
Mhm.
then I will get in there. But it's appreciation is there is a difference there. So you want to briefly bridge it what it is from gratitude to appreciation. So
Sure.
so people can know that what is the difference there because you can really feel the difference when you calibrate into the appreciation than gratitude.
Yeah,
There's a different there differences
yeah, yeah.
there's
And
differences there.
well, and I'm happy to clarify this may be you, because there is a lot of encouragement and a lot of things, right? Saying gratitude, do the gratitude, right? And and I did it too, right? But there is a huge difference between gratitude and appreciation. And gratitude it's something, right? It's for sure something. But when you feel the clarity of the difference of these two emotions and what they really, really are, um, you'll understand why we talk about appreciation, right? And because when you're grateful for something, you're carrying some of that struggle vibration with you. You're oftentimes, and it's not always this, and people sometimes use this in a little different way, but oftentimes it's like, I'm really grateful that I still have a house because I almost lost it, right? There's a little bit of struggle there. I'm really grateful the kids weren't as bratty today as they were yesterday, right? I'm really grateful that they're sleeping because they were crazy when they were awake. And you may not express that piece on there, but the vibration is with it. You can go, I'm grateful my kids are sleeping, but there's still that little tag to it, right? There's still that little piece to it, kind of saying, because they were really stressing me out when they were awake. They were making a big mess and screaming and woo, right? Or whatever, just making up examples. So, and when we hold that bit of that past, well, so I'll add this in. The difference between us in our human form and our inner being and God source the universe is your inner being, my inner being, and God source the universe never looks back, always in motion forward, meaning they're not comparing, right? They're not and this is right in the creative process. The moment you have a contrast, they give the answer. They hold no attention on the contrast. They hold zero focus on the contrast. They hold 100% focus on the solution or that which is desired. So, right, in appreciation, this is what we're asking, right? Or this is what we're doing. I appreciate that wonderful breath, right? And it doesn't need a reason. I appreciate the wonderful fragrance in the air. I appreciate my family. I love them so much, right? I appreciate technology. It allows us to connect so easily globally. 20 years ago, it wasn't this easy. 10 years ago, it wasn't this easy. Wow, right? Um, See, you can feel, kind of that comparative energy there. It gives it a little bit of a drag. But when you can just say, I appreciate being able to connect this easily, right? No drag. I appreciate knowing that everything is in motion forward. I appreciate the beauty of this day. I appreciate having more time in my day. I appreciate feeling my freedom, right? You can feel it. There's nothing attached to it. There's no achiever thing, right? Even if you got an award, you would just be like, I appreciate this award, right? It just doesn't have that energy. I appreciate this award because of the wonderful journey, the momentous struggles and trials and tribulations that brought me to this place, that I have earned this plaque that I can hang on. No, that's gratitude, right? Appreciation, it goes, I appreciate this plaque. Isn't it beautiful? Yeah, right? Because you just let go of that. Your inner being has all of that. Every thought that's ever been thought still exists. So you don't need to really hang on to them so much, right? And the less you
There is no
kind of,
risk.
yeah, the less you
No,
hang on,
just like
yeah, the
oh,
more,
sorry, the director, but there is no resistance in appreciation. It's a
yeah,
moving forward energy.
yeah,
It feels good, and
it does.
and it's unconditional as well. So
Mhm. Yeah,
it feels so good.
it does feel good.
Great
And you,
example. Yeah.
yeah, well, and you said it so expertly, so perfectly. It doesn't hold the resistance. And that's the idea, to just genuinely appreciate. Those things are going in
Love
your
that.
vortex too. They
I
are.
feel that more and more for myself also today. More and more I do this process. I'm just writing things I appreciate the weather. I appreciate the snow, and I like just and then I go straight to my feelings, and I honestly feel the energy of it. It's like, oh, it's so magnificent, just the snow coming from heaven, and it's lighting up here, and it just feels so good just to feel the snow. And when hitting the face and when I'm running, I love when I like running. I love cold when it's cold and running. It's just the best thing ever. It's so good for. And then just like when there is no reason behind, but just like I love, like you said, I just love running and feeling the. And there is no why is it? I mean, if I'm starting that, why is it that I appreciate it? Why? Honestly, why is this? You can feel that resistance to it, but when you just like go with the flow with the energy of appreciation, you have no hidden agenda behind it. You don't have anything like, I must do something, about it so I can get something back.
Mhm.
That's conditional based, but when you're unconditional, you are there is a difference, and there is a different energy, and then you can see this appreciation how it unfolds, and for everyone who you meet in your road as well. It's then you just it's so nice
Mm.
this appreciation process. I love that process. So,
Yeah.
and the more I do it, and the more I feel the energy of it and do it, more like it's just lighting up with more things to appreciate. That's what I experience also in my life now.
Mhm.
Many great things happening every day, and to really just chill out and be relaxed and allow it. And also, do you want to expand, because there was something Abraham talked about it, that also, because there was one person to talk about, to manifest small things and manifest big things, and then she brought up that belief is only a thought you keep thinking. So do you want to
Mhm.
expand in this one, Jen?
For sure. Yeah. Oh, and I love that, right? Because there is something that Abraham says it's as easy to manifest a button as it is to manifest a castle, right? It is. It's as easy to manifest small things as it is big things, but we often don't believe that, right? Because we believe oftentimes from our physical form, just from the life we've lived, we think big things are hard, right? Or they're going to take a really, really long time. Well, they might take some time, but keep in mind that time could be so joyful for sure. So the idea is to gently bridge our expectation, right? To bridge, so start with where you're at. Manifest, line up with what you can. You can only be where you are. So, if you do feel you're manifesting things that are small with ease, but then when you try to manifest the big things, you think, oh, this is too hard. Well, that's your belief right there. That's your vibration coming in to block it, right? A little bit of dissatisfaction, almost like, yeah, I manifested these little things, but where's the big stuff? And now you're out of alignment because manifesting those little things, right? Sure, it's just practice. Manifesting is just practice. It's really lining up with the broader aspect of who you are. So, how do you get to where you can manifest the bigger things without having those streams of human consciousness coming in? Well, it goes back to what we talked about a little bit ago. It's about feeling good more of the time, relaxing. When you feel a resistant thought come in, like this is going to be hard, okay, acknowledge that. Acknowledge that right in that moment. Well, I know that when I ask, it's given, and I know all things are possible. And I know if I and as I go about feeling good, I'll be guided, right? If that feels good to you, you could bridge it forward in that way. Or, be more general if you need to. But it's the idea when you get these limiting beliefs that come in, that you acknowledge them. That feels like a limitation. Am I limited? No, I'm not really limited. I'm limited to the degree that I think thoughts that are limiting. Do I need to think limiting thoughts? No. Could I think more abundant thoughts? Yeah. Yeah, I could. I could think more thoughts. Could I just go for a walk right now and just enjoy? I could. There and just go off and about. Be easy about things. It's being easier about things. All things are possible. Everything is here for all of us. And was entertained. It was an Abraham audio that I listened to a while ago. And they said, when somebody makes their transition, right, has their death experience, um, the first thing that really happens when they go back into non physical, oftentimes, is they laugh. Now, this is from our human understanding, but it would be the equivalent of laughing uncontrollably, because they see now when they're fully realigned with their non-physical energy, they're fully in their non-physical space, all that they put in their vortex and all of the resistant thoughts that they were holding in place that blocked them from it. So it really is a process of just acknowledging those things that feel like they're taking your freedom away, things that feel like they're resistant. Acknowledge them. And then shift your focus. This is a good way of saying it too, to a more general space, but also, most importantly, to a space of what you know you can control. And what can you control? Where you focus, right? That's really what you can control. It's really what you can control from your own perspective. And everything else is cooperative components that will match you to the degree of your vibration. Whatever you're more consistently vibrating, there they come. So when you're feeling good more of the time, guess what? More good things are happening. Things will happen like they happened for you this morning, Espen, when you were doing your meditation, your Facebook Live meditation, and all of a sudden you're like, oh, I just had a knock on my door. Excuse me for just a moment. You went to the door and there's two coins, two pieces of money sitting there. Not a person, money, right? Because all things are possible when you're feeling better. The universe will find the most magnificent ways to get them to you. So don't go about trying to figure out how. Just let that go. Instead, go about feeling good and feel the inspiration come in, feel the freedom. Let go of those things that, if it doesn't feel good, it's out of your control. Just let it go, right? Just let go of that resistance and focus more on what you can control. And when you're focusing more on what you can control, you'll see how responsive the law of attraction is. You'll see how responsive the universe is. You'll see how things just start coming in, right? And how your feelings continue to expand. And then, yes, we're human. You're going to have a little once in a while, contrast. But then do the same. Don't beat up on yourself and go, how could I have had contrast? I was doing so good. No, contrast, good. In this moment of contrast, I'm asking and I'm expanding the universe. In this moment of contrast, this is a good thing. I'm going to go about flowing in the direction of forward. I'm going to go about flowing in the direction of my inner being. I'm going to go about flowing in the direction that feels better. And just let it unfold. Let that journey take place. Yeah. Anything you'd like to expand on that, Espen?
I have no words to say. It's all good. I
It's
just love listening to everything. It's very lining up with the energy of who I truly am. And I really, really appreciate everything you shared, Jan. And it's so good to have clarification around it. When we speak about it in Best Life every day, about new things, we see there is newness. But it's so nice to know that it's different way of speaking, different words, but it's all come to the same. It's the pure law source energy first, alignment. And then everything is lined up with those things. You came forth here into this physical body in with this non-physical energy to become all of that you desire more and more.
Yeah.
And it's already everything is already lined up. It is just to line up with the pure source energy and be easy about it and be gentle about it. And then more you are, and when you're more deliberate in your aware of your energy of who you truly are, and you stay more tuned in there, more to come, more to experience. Because isn't that right? That it's the inside that experience the outside. It's the alignment that experience the outside. When you're in alignment, everything looks so good and feels so good and smells so good and tastes so good and sounds so good. The physical senses with the non-physical energy, with the alignment, is so magnificent. And that's just is always available for us. And when is it available for us? Now.
Yeah.
It is now.
Yeah.
It is in the newness of the now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So thank you so much, Jen, for everything you share, and for all of you who come here, co-creating with yourself and with us. And see you then on Thursday. It will be the same time as well. 1 p.m.
1 hour earlier. 1 hour earlier on Thursday.
1 hour earlier on Thursday.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. 1 hour earlier than today. Yeah.
It's gonna be 9 p.m. Central Time, European time. Yeah.
Yes. And,
So
so great.
good.
Oh, this is such a pleasure, Espen. Oh,
It is.
And I love what you said, more to come. There's always
More
more
to
to
come.
relax, feel good, and enjoy. Mm, yeah. Love you guys.
Love you guys so much.